Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. Is it Sunday? Yeah, it's Sunday afternoon. So today I'm just gonna quickly talk about applying for a visa application, and mostly I will talk about Finland. But I always feel like if I talk about Finland, also there's Schengen countries apply, or Nordic countries sometimes have almost the same rules. So maybe this can be useful for someone else who's applying for a visa. And when I talk about a visa, I'm not just talking about just the visa. I'm talking about tourist visa, student permit. No, I don't know anything about the work permit, so I don't know if the rules apply. But hey, let's just get into the video. So I'm going to be reading because I wrote a few things down, and they are not a few, they are a lot. So if you have to forgive me, because even if I really want this video to look nice and like I have everything under control, sometimes it's a must that I read from the paper so that I make sure that I don't miss out anything. So the first thing I realized is that before we used to apply, if you're Kenyan, we used to apply in the Kenyan embassy, but now they have this thing called VFS. It's also in Westlands, but it's no longer in the Eden Square. So if you go online and you do your application and you're trying to select where you're supposed to go and submit your documents or submit your prints, you will find that they have a new place there called VFS. So uh, that has been happening for a while now, so that should not be alarming. And sometimes you'll find that the embassy itself is no longer taking applications, that like you can't go there to drop your documents or your prints, that it's only VFS center where you can do this. And VFS definitely it has not just the Finnish documentation, but it also has like other Schengen countries and Nordic countries as well. So number one, I would say that when you're applying for a visa or residence permit, please do it online. The first thing we noticed is, I don't know if they have added the fee, but the fee was 350 euros if you paid online. But if you went to page in the site, they were asking for almost 60,000 Kenya shillings. And if you equate, even if I know the euro is a bit stronger than the shilling, I think that was too stretchy. Like, if you're able to do, or you are able to ask someone to do the application for you online and you're able to pay, that is cheaper. uh then when you're booking, oh my god, yeah, this happened to my sister. We booked and we were sure we booked the right date, but when she went there, she was told that she booked for just tourist visa application. Apparently there's days where they only take student application, and there's days where they take other like visas. So be very careful when you're booking those dates, because don't forget that those dates are like, you can find just the date is next month, there is no longer dates this month. So if you make that mistake, that means when you go there and they won't take your documents and they won't take your free, guys, these people don't care. So they'll just send you back. They'll be like, oops, you made the wrong application, that's not our problem. Even if you're late for school, that to them, that's none of their concern. So you will have to book a date which could be the following month, so that again you have to wait longer. So please make sure that when you're booking through the VFS, you make the right application. And then if you're unsure, they have a number there, call, make them book for you. If you feel like you will make that mistake, just call and make them book the application for you, which is book the appointment for you, sorry, which is very possible. Now remember that the application can take up to 6 months. Yeah, I know you're like, what, 6 months and I am going to school? Well, for student applications, they already promised that they will be like trying to speed them up, but that's not a guarantee. We did our, like for my sister, we did the application in October, and she actually went in, was it November, and her decision came end of January. So it can take some time. Like normally it used to take even 2 weeks. During my time, I remember I did an application, like I sent my documents and I went for the fingerprints. Like this week, and by next week I had my residence permit. So I don't know whether there are so many, there's a lot of queues or like a lot of people applying, but there's just something that's dragging the process behind. uh Number one, when you start this application, I'm sure when you get your school will give you like the some of the details that you need for applying. So number one, they'll definitely give you a link to go to, which is Enter Finland. Create an account there. And remember, when you're creating this account, you will need your passport. So have your passport ready. So that means if you have applied for school, by now you should be already processing for your passport or already have your passport at hand and let it be valid. Then you need also, in that Enter Finland, you need your school documents, and you need to attach your school fee slips and or scholarship documents. That is, if you've been given a scholarship by the school, or I don't know who's giving you the scholarship, but whoever it is, then you need to attach those as well there. And then you remember you need your bank statement. Now, a lot of times I have been asked, like, how much roughly do they need in my bank? Now, remember, this money has to be in your own personal bank account. Do not, it shouldn't be in a shared bank account, or it shouldn't be in your parents' bank account. That means if you're being sponsored by your parents or a relative, they need to transfer the money into your own personal account. Now, it doesn't matter if you open the account today and you go and you apply tomorrow. That's none of their business. But the account needs to be under your name, and the names have to be the same as the names on your passport. And a lot of times I'm asked, like, roughly how much do we need in the account. Now, I'll tell you this: when we were applying for the application, when we were applying for my sister to come to study, we had already paid half the school fee, which was what the school wanted. And then we already put like the 6,700 euros converted into Kenya shillings. That was roughly around 800,000, 900,000 Kenya shillings. We had already put it in her own personal account. But then, as we were going like to complete the application, it couldn't send because it kept on saying that we do not have enough money. And I was like, but we already have like the enough money that the Migri needs to see so that I can come here. I have paid half the school and I can pay the rest. Like I was thinking, that's none of your business how I pay the school. The only thing you need to see is that I have money for my food and accommodation and like spending money. And apparently, no, Migri also wants to see half of that money of the school fee inside your account. So you'll find in the application, they'll ask you like, how much do you pay for school fee? So maybe you pay for 9,000. Then down there, they're like, how much have you paid? 4,500. Then after that, they'll ask you, how much do you have in your personal account? So of course you put 8,007 or 800,000 or 900,000 Kenya shillings for your food and accommodation. And apparently that's not enough because they already calculate that you've paid half the school fee, so they're expecting you to pay the other 4,500 euros. It has to reflect into your account. So that's something you need to keep in mind. So if your school is around 10,000, you paid 5,000, make sure when you're putting the 8,000 to 800 to 900,000 Kenya shillings, remember to add the remaining school fee balance. So I always tell people that your account needs to have around 1.5 to 2 million Kenya shillings. Then what is it? What is left here? Now, remember to attach your sponsor statements for the last 3 months. Yeah, and it has to reflect your sponsor's name, and it doesn't matter how many statements, and especially make sure they attach that statement that shows, that reflects that the money came from that account to your account. And then your sponsor also has to attach their pay slips. If they're entrepreneurs, definitely they can attach their documents to show that they are directors of a company and what have you. And then you have the work contract which you have to attach. And I always tell people, guys, write a sponsor letter, write who is sponsoring you. That makes it way easier. If you have sold like a piece of land or a house or something like that, and that money is what is going to be used for your education, please do attach those documents. Attach the sale agreement, attach the lawyer agreement, attach the bank transfer. Even if you sold that land like 10 years ago and the money is still reflecting in that your sponsor's account, or if it's you who sold in your own personal account, please do attach those statements. Even if it looks like there are a lot of paperwork, but guys, you want to be as straightforward as possible. And then in that application, you also need to show passport photos. They shouldn't be older than 6 months. And then you also have to attach the visa payslip. Remember at the beginning I said that the visa or residence permit payslip, I said that online application you pay 350 euros, and if you go with your own documents and you do the application just by hand, then you pay around 60 to, I don't know, now it might be even 70,000 Kenya shillings. You need to attach those slips. If you have children, because the application will ask you if you have children, please do attach something like the birth certificate and stuff like that. Now, there are different types of visas especially in Finland. I will say there's the B residence permit, which is for students. There's the A residence permit, which normally you get after you have finished school. You can apply for the A. They give you the first A for 1 year, and then if you still have a job after that one, it's like a grace period of 1 year for you to look for a job. And it doesn't matter what job. I've seen countries like Norway, they are very tight. They want you to have a job description according to what you studied for, but in Finland they really don't care. Really, okay, they really don't care as long as you show that you're working, and you're working at least full-time 37.5 hours a week. And after that you will be given a continuous, which you will not renew for 4 years. So for 4 years you do not need to go to Migri to do an application. That's usually a nice 4 years grace period. And after this 4 years, if you want to continue staying in Finland, you can apply for P, which is permanent residence. Or if your Finnish is good enough and you have a good job and you really want to apply for citizenship, then after you do your UKI test, you are of course welcome to apply for citizenship. That's if you pass the UKI. And for those who are wondering what is UKI, it's the Finnish language test. There is also this tourist visa. You can get up to 3 months, and remember, you can apply as just coming to Finland, but also you can apply for a Schengen visa. Now, a lot of times there are people who have asked me, well, if I'm coming to visit, how much do I need to show in my account? I always say that they always check, like, how long are you gonna stay here? If you're here for 2 weeks, 100,000 in your account is not so bad, but I would put a bit more. And if you're staying longer, of course they need to see that you have more money. Now, it helps if you give documentation to show that you have already accommodation. Maybe you're living with a friend. That can cut down the costs or the amount of money that you need to show that you have in your account. So guys, I think that was all. If you have any questions, and about the application, this application, when you're putting in the documents, they need to be, was it 3 KB? They need to be in a small size. Not all documents were fitting there. So if you have no good computer skills, please, when you're doing this application, sit or invite someone who is good at these things, because they can take a lot of your time, and it's really frustrating when you can't make documents smaller. So I love short videos, and that's why I just jumped into this, and I didn't want to make it longer than it should be. So the next video, which I'm doing immediately after this one, I will do about the do's and don'ts during your visa or residence permit application.